I believe that our bodies need to be restored to the way our spirit, soul, and body functioned before we lost our identity. So I do think there probably will be changes that take place that bring about the clothing of glory that they had. Now, you could say transfiguration was a sign of that, that there was some change. Now, obviously, that was before the resurrection, but Jesus's body was different after the resurrection. Although they could still touch him and he still ate and he still did it, there was a sense where he had the ability to mask his identity. You know, Emmaus Road people didn't know him. Mary didn't even recognize him to start with. So something must have looked different or been different, but they obviously did recognize the nail prints in his hands and feet and in his side. And so there were still some senses where it seemed that he had greater capacity in being able to use his body in particular ways, I guess. I mean, he could pass through walls, he could do certain things. Now, obviously, he still could do that before, but it was like now his body had the capacity, whereas before he used the knowledge he has to enable him to do it. So I do think I'm looking for a form of transfiguration that will bring my whole spirit, soul, and body back into alignment with God's original intention. Now, whether that will be a progressive thing or whether that will happen in some way, I don't know. Certainly my physical body, when I've learned to energize my body, live in health and all of that stuff, is able to, I have more energy now than I did when I was, 20. It's like I know how to energize my whole life. So I don't have an issue with that. But I still think there's something more.
Right.
I'm not totally sure what it is, but I do believe it's something to do with how they were clothed in glory. And I think that glory was their identity. And there was something to do with how the spirit related to the body, which is different from what happened afterwards. And I don't think maybe we fully embrace what that will be, because we're still in the process of the restoration of all things. And maybe that is one of the things that will be restored in that process. But I'm still believing in full immortality. But immortality is different. Immortality is not dying. Having the full functions of a soul, spirit, soul, body, as God originally intended, may well be linked to the fact that our physical body is immortal, but actually may have abilities and things which are not just immortality. It may have the ability to be transdimensional or travel spirit, soul, and body, or to be connected. Well, also, I think that's related to the restoration of the relationship between heaven and earth. Because heaven and earth actually needs to be restored into relationship so we can then move in those things, spirit, soul, and body, not just go into the realm of the spirit with our spirit and soul. So I think there may be other aspects of restoration that still needs to take place. And that may be process. It could be that something happens to trigger that. It could be that entering into a new age when everything's been restored. Maybe that's the last things that are restored that then will equip us into coming into the fully restored universe and creation. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know the full things, but I do believe that there are changes that still need to probably take place with the body. And how it relates to creation and ourselves. So, yeah. Hi, everyone. We're starting a Patreon page, patreon.com/freedomarc. And we would like to invite you to partner with us in taking the message of God's unconditional love, limitless grace, triumphant mercy to a bigger global audience.